actually giving your power away. When you concentrate on other people, you're putting your energy on them. Therefore, you're putting your awareness on them. Therefore, you're putting your energy on them. And what is our power? Our energy.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. How'd I end up alone? I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect.
Because if we keep that subconscious connection, you can go off and watch a movie and I could wonder why I'm feeling what you're feeling. Right. That's how powerful this connection is. Yeah. So all we do is we just speak it. We break the connection sash. My name is Russell. Hello, my name is Russell. I test. I'm back to myself in terms of the testing. Yeah. And then that's it. That's a session. Wonderful. You know? So then there's 20-minute sessions, 30, an hour, and what have you. So.
Welcome to episode 6 of Legends. Russell Huggon, my longtime friend. 15 years I've known you.
Yeah. Time flies,
You were my captain, Metroford.
That's right.
A long time ago. Yeah. You've always had these leadership skills. And now you are a certified emotion code practitioner. Yeah. Now, you were touching on earlier about healing and then letting people go off on their own to find healing methods themselves. How is that possible? How do they manage to maintain that?
Very difficultly. And this is why I have created courses and 90-day programs, and I have a range of activities that I can do with people. I throw retreats every now and again, you know, because people need that coaching. And I know this from being a very successful soccer coach, you know, BC Coach of the Year, Fraser Valley Coach of the Year, 3 years undefeated seasons. You know, I know what it takes, and then that goes deeper because I knew what it took to become a pro, right? And it's the same thing with this. If you want to truly live from an open heart and start dealing with these triggers that we deal with, you know, I mean, simple language, we get pissed off, we blame, all of these sort of things, right? They lead us to this lower vibrational life, and we just keep attracting that right through to our end of days. But if you choose to put the work in and really hold yourself accountable and have an accountable partner or a healer or a friend that you are accountable with, that's when I see people making the big difference. People that I've worked with for 10, 20 sessions, I've never had to work with again. Right. And they're now I see them because now social media, I see what they're doing in the world. And they're creating their own healing groups. I have a woman that I worked with that created a group for trauma, for women that have been through trauma. And she actually just reached out to me saying, Russ, will you come to a session for our group? And of course I will. I do group sessions. I've actually done healing on like cities and that, because you can actually do all that. It was actually, it was in Paris at the time, and there was like a bombing or something.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and someone reached out to me, you know, and I said, of course I will, and, you know, because it's all super powerful. I mean, it's why prayer is so powerful. Yeah. Because when you put that intention out to the universe with your love, it actually ripples. It just ripples, and it does hit everything, you know. I mean, everyone knows the term we're in the matrix, right? Because everything is happening now for us, right? And really, from an atom's point of view, and that's why I love quantum physics. If you don't have your attention or your awareness on an atom, it disappears. It's been scientifically proven. Yeah, it's a mind. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here, but, you know, it's a bit of a mind fuck, right? Because you look around, oh, this is real, because you're dealing with your senses, and you're telling yourself it's only what I can see, touch, or hear is real. Electricity is real. You turn on a light, you don't see it, but you see the light go on, right? But the electricity, you're on a phone, you don't see anything, but it's like you see a picture of someone. Right. So energy is real. That people don't believe it until they see it or feel it, you know?
You talking about earlier how you project love. Aside from love, what can patients or clients do to restore emotional and physical balance and ensure they remain centered, like at a constant rate?
Breathing. Okay. Breathing. When you breathe and you place your awareness, and this is something that I teach very deeply. I'm actually going to put out an 11-day challenge soon for people that I recorded a year ago. I'm going to re-release it.
And when is that?
It's coming up. It's 11 days prior to the 1st. I can't remember.
21st.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be coming out. And people, I challenge them to take just 10 to 20 minutes every day for 11 days and breathe and do this breath work with me and release these emotions. Also, paying attention to your thoughts, becoming the witness of your life versus reacting to the world. Watch yourself. Oh, feel in your body. I feel I'm reacting here. Something's going on. Someone says something to me, a boss, a best friend. Being in that awareness, you're now bringing a control to your life.
And is that possible to do? I mean, you mentioned on reacting. Somebody says something. Is it as easy as just taking a step back, taking a breath, and trying to evaluate? Okay, what's my next step?
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps because I love
even
this
in
stuff.
a split second.
I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you actually have that power, man, you're gonna be like, wow. But it takes work. It takes witnessing yourself. Feeling your body prior to the reaction is huge. Before your words come out, your body tells you, I'm mad, I'm angry. And if you want to work on yourself and you're aware of that happening, you just see the other person for the beautiful soul that they are, that they've been through a childhood that crushed them. And that's how you look at the world now. Mm-hmm. We're all one, and I see this person. Wow, they've been through so much pain that they're actually reaching out on me. And yes, I have this new energy where I have this way more peace in my heart, but that doesn't change who we are. You throw me on a soccer field and I'll run up and down for 90 minutes and compete like a maniac, but I do it with love now. As a coach, I stopped shouting at referees. Be a soccer coach, and how hard is it not to react to referees? But I looked at them as a human being, as a soul, on a different level. Did that mean my team started losing? No, we actually started winning more than we already were.
Is there not a fear that when you're reacting in a certain way, it may be looked upon that, okay, he's backing down, he or she is backing down from something every single time?
Yeah, and you know what? I send them love because that's their story. And that is what they tell themselves. Right. If someone's thinking that, I don't think like that anymore. Because I know my own power. I know that I am love. Mm-hmm. And I know that I work on myself. Right. And that I know I'm not perfect. Nowhere near it. But there's so many areas of life that I have changed. Anger, reaction, need for sex, all of it. The way that I would maybe talk about a woman walking down the street, all of it. Because what that energy brings you in your life is all these relationship challenges. Because now you're truly not seeing your partner. You can say you are, I love you, but you're not feeling them and seeing them. Because if you need to argue, you're not seeing them or hearing them.
How do your methods differ, or how are they unique from other practitioners?
Because I am Huggy the healer. And I am a leader, and I'm here to make a difference. And I know that, and I've had to own that. I didn't always feel like that when I started my healings, but then I had to throw me on a soccer pitch. How I felt there is how I feel about healing now. No one would touch me on a soccer pitch. No coach could touch me. And now I just had to own that with this. And like for you get to that mind frame, that zone where this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to change the world. But you have to own that you can. Mm-hmm. And people think when they hear you want to change the world, how conceited, who are you to say? Listen to Buddha, change yourself and you change the world. How many people can really go into the mirror at night and go, yeah, wow, you're a good person today. You were kind all day. But that also means to yourself. There's a lot of people that do good for others, and they're so harsh on themselves. Right? And that's the same vibe. We're all one. It doesn't matter if you're doing it to yourself or you're doing it to another. You're causing that vibration, that energy in the world. See, that gives me goosebumps. People can't take that on board, that we're all causing all of this.
I would say because obviously you're on a different level of consciousness, but a lot of people, myself included, have that self-conscious side. And there was somebody that said humans that are too self-conscious were immature because they didn't lose themselves in the moment. For example, in the moment of being able to succeed at something, because they're worried about, like you said, failing. They're worried about someone else saying, "Hey, this person is whatever." So therefore, the individuation is necessary in order to maintain a persona. But is this self-conscious state a higher mental state?
Being in the present moment is being of higher consciousness. It's not as difficult and as deep as people think.
Right.
But they're not willing to bring that awareness to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
And even Eckhart Tolle, one of the greatest spiritual gurus the world has ever seen, says that take 3 breaths every time you feel a little bit funky, and that will save you thousands of dollars on healers' retreats. He's like, taking your own breath every day is more valuable than going on a retreat. And I throw retreats, but I would still tell someone that, because why not change someone's life if they're going to listen, you know? And yeah, I mean, did that answer your question? Or?
Yeah, and actually there's a two-part question. I should have probably asked this one first, but what issues have you personally faced? Because again, you're in a different level of consciousness right now, but I'm sure you faced challenges. You faced maybe the guffaws from other people. So, what issues exactly have you faced from society with regards to the notion of consciousness?
All of them. Where do you want to start? Heartbreak.
Right.
Parents not supporting me. Wife wanting to leave me. Hatred from players that I coached. Hatred from other coaches. Had my entire skull cracked in by a player that didn't like me because he thought he was allowed to just elbow me on purpose in the head. So I have metal plates all around my eyes, and I forgave him. And I've seen him since, and I forgave him. You know? Because what did it suit me? This is a good example. I was so angry at the time, so I was not there yet. It took me a couple years, but I was not there. I went to the papers. I wanted him suspended. What did that serve me at all?
I was going to ask you. It says that 2013 you refused his text apology. To be honest, I think he should have probably came to the hospital, but you refused the text apology. Have you forgiven Harry Lacken now? Yes, you have.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And did Huggy the healer evolve from the aftermath of your injury?
100%. Do you know what they say is that you need to hit rock bottom before you're going to go to the next level, like the next level? You know, because if we're too comfortable as human beings, right, we get too caught in that loop. It's called past to present living. You're living in a program. You get up. You know you have your coffee. You know how to drive your car. You know how to get to work. You know who you got to email that day. Watch how many times we relive that. It's a program. Yeah. It's literally been proven scientifically at the quantum level that it is just a program, that our nervous system is a fucking computer system, right? And you need to consciously change that. And what I love is through meditation and breath work, you could tap into your subconscious. And now you're resetting it. You're resetting the program. You know, it is the subconscious that runs the program. And our conscious mind just like practically shuts off half the time. We're not present. We're not in a present moment. We're not here right now talking. We're thinking about what I got to do later today, the fight I had with my missus, you know? Like that's where people live all the time. And then they wonder at the suffering. That vibration adds to the consciousness, you know? When something bad happens in the world, and a lot of it still does, and we post, oh, we need to save this, oh, this person did this, we think we're shedding light on it, and a lot of spiritual people would argue me on this one, because that's what they do. They go through this awakening, and they're like, this is how you need to live life, you know, but they don't understand by bringing a negative to anyone, even someone that's not living like them, is adding to the negative in the world. Is adding to these vibrations that you see on this list. It's not bringing light. You're actually giving your power away. When you concentrate on other people, you're putting your energy on them. Therefore, you're putting your awareness on them. Therefore, you're putting your energy on them. And what is our power? Our energy field. Quantum physics and science has proven that we are 99.9% energy, only 0.1 physical. They have taken like shots of skin and they keep going deeper, and there's nothing there in the end. Moving atoms in that. Like the physical, it rules our world, but it doesn't need to.
Do you agree with Sartre, with what he said? It was when we're conscious, we're self-conscious. And when in our unconscious state,
yes,
we're alive.
Yes. Right? That's deep. And I love going deep. I mean, that's how I'm trying to only choose my life now. Right. And now I'm only attracting deeper relationships with men, with women, with my family. Yeah. And when you're vibrating high a lot, the lower vibrations don't want you. People could think, oh, this person's nice, they're loving, but if they're vibing low, they're not attracted to you anymore. You won't interact with them as much.
It's almost like a shock when you're nice to somebody. I get that a lot as well.
Right.
When I'm quiet, people are on edge.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know that in the Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, he explains that it's like tuning forks. We have a zillion tuning forks in us. Yeah. All these emotions. Do you know that disease is already in our body? All of it. Every single disease, because everything's one. It's all chemical makeup. So it's there.
Right.
How does it come out? Trapped emotions brings them out. Your environment brings this out. You know, like,
and this is all like scientifically proven. In it.
Yeah. And then they take it back to like which organs are producing it and why this organ shut down for a person. It's like amazingly deep stuff.
So is there a way that this can sort of supersede traditional medicine? Have people looked into this as a... People
do this instead of traditional medicine, and I'm one of them.
Right.
I can honestly say that I don't go to doctors anymore.
Wow.
And that I haven't been... I used to get sick, and this is why I'm a great example, because I wasn't always living this. And I used to get the flu 3 times a year, get sick all the time. But since I've started doing these healings, I haven't had the flu in 3 years. You know?
Yeah.
It's amazing. My tendinitis went away. I went from not even being able to sleep like this to doing pull-ups again, like a monster. I go to the parks with my daughter now, and I'm on the monkey bars, and I'm like, wow.
You have a lot of energy.
I have so much energy.
That's no pun.
Do you know what? Honestly, Sarshar, I have to own my powers, and my powers are energy and love. I have so much of it, and passion, and I hid from it. It came out on the soccer field, but in my relationships, in my life, I hid from it. And was I happy? Hell no. I was depressed. I've questioned being here. You know? So where I am sitting in front of you right now with this extreme confidence and power, it was not months ago, but I work on myself all the time.
After 1,000 or over 1,000 healings, what methods do you use to ensure that each session is fresh and exciting for you?
I allow source to come through, because you learn when you're doing your intuitive practices, which everyone is intuitive. Everyone's connected to source, God, whatever you want to call it, Sophia, and everyone has their beliefs, and they're all right. That's the funny thing. You don't tell anyone they're wrong, because what they believe is their truth.
Right.
I believe I can't heal from this. That's your truth. I believe this is uncurable. That's your truth. I believe this is curable. You watch. If you truly believe it, you have to truly believe it. You can't even just say it. It has to. That's what the meditation work, where you go in and you cultivate these upper emotions constantly. You're retraining your subconscious, you're retraining your body, and you're raising your vibration. The world doesn't need me if they just do what I say. Right? I don't need to do healings on everyone in the world. But if someone hears something I say, like do breath work, and they start doing it, their life will change. You go to the doctor, they read their sheet, they give you the pill. And what comes back a few months later? The same illness. Why are things not curable with all these pills? And come on, our medical system has come a long way. Why has it not come further? Right?
Of course.
Because there's deeper. That's why. I'm not saying they're not doing their work. They're freaking amazing. And I love them. And I thank God for them, because they've helped save my daughter's life, who has one of the most rarest genetic syndromes on this planet. Only 0.2% of babies live through what my daughter's lived through. She's a miracle child. It's called trisomy 9 mosaicism. Yeah. And she's an absolute miracle child, and she hears my thoughts, because I'll be thinking something. She'll go, "Daddy, not now." And her mother, Lindsay, is so connected spiritually, and connected to her heart, and connected to the universe, that those two awoken me.
And Lindsay got into it.
Oh, Lindsay's been into it.
Right.
Yeah. Lindsay got these healings from another practitioner before I even knew about it.
Right.
And she started to change. And for someone like me that was at a lower conscious than Lindsay, she was rising up. And I don't know why, because I can't explain it consciously, but now I know energetically I wasn't there yet. And so things weren't working. So I do the work, things start aligning again. Right. And you start having a deeper, more loving, truthful relationship. Does it look different on a surface with sex or this or that? Maybe. But we're so attached to these desires from our broken child. Do you know that that's where your desires come from? There are some desires that is from a pure heart, but 90% of our desires, when you reach them in life, you're still depressed. You still get triggered. You still, right?
Yeah.
But you've reached your goal. Why am I not happy? Because of this. All of these lower end emotions that are guiding you to this desire, right? That's why everyone wants money, because we've seen our parents struggle. We've struggled, right? Because we think that we need all this stuff. We need a good house. We need this. So we put this attachment to it. It has a real negative sort of energy surrounding it, right? When you can release that attachment, like you said yourself, what just comes to you? Abundance. In all ways, right? Because now you're attracting from a pure open heart and not from these lower end emotions.
Speaking of attraction, the heart wall. I was listening to a podcast on the heart wall. Once the trauma around the heart wall is released, the law of attraction takes hold. Do you want to elaborate on that?
I mean, it's so much so, because really what happens, like I said, you can imagine 10 to 20 to 30 of these emotions around your heart, literally like a wall. And I can muscle test. Can act as proxy for Sasha right now. Yes. Does he have a heart wall? Yes. Is it made of something solid? No. Something softer than wood? Yes. It's a liquid, but it's gray. It's like a metal. So I don't know if you like Superman or any of these sort of things. Your subconscious has created this like solid, it's a liquid, but it looks like it's solid around your heart, and it's made from a metal, so it's like a liquid metal that is it thinks it's guarding you. It thinks it's keeping you safe, but it's keeping you from your love emotions, from attracting love. Mm-hmm. So once you break this heart wall down by releasing these emotions, yes, now you're right. Your love is just expanding out into the universe, and you start attracting more of it. This is what people think. You have to go onto a mountainside and get spiritually enlightened. I tell you what, Tony Robbins says, get married and now challenge yourself and get spiritually enlightened. Well, that's what we're here to do. We're humans. You know, we're here to do all this. We're here to do track and field. We're here to live your passions. We're not here just to be on our own. But often people think that during the spiritual awakening process, this is what I need. This is what I need. But trust me, if they're in a year or two, keep going, because it's not. And there's a movie out there, and this guy goes off, and you might have seen it. He goes off into the wilderness, eventually passes away from a berry. And during this journey, he's so depressed with life that when he's in the forest, he feels free. And yeah, it's fucking amazing. He's living this life, and he thinks it's it until the years go by. Who's he sharing it with? We're here to share. We're here for community. Right. There's a reason why in history it says community raises its child. And people on their own that try and raise a child struggle. It's stressful. That's why they invented schools. Babysitting. Sorry, school system. I love you.
How has your work differed from the originator, Dr. Bradley Nelson?
I definitely am more on the spiritual side. And connecting with my essence and connecting with source. I mean, during the training, you thank God. But there's other practitioners that get it done. They do 20-minute sessions. They don't connect like we connected. Mm-hmm. And it still works. Because you know who needs to believe? The client. Yeah. If the client believes, like I said to you, the deepest rooted issue is if you believe it to be true, then it's true for you. Right? Yeah. That's it. That's how powerful we are. We're that powerful. So start witnessing your thoughts. That's the first step to all this. I read the Tao to start my journey. Have you heard of the Tao? Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And then you go on to Abraham Hicks. Witness your thoughts. Witness this, because your story is creating your story, literally. Yeah. You're the only one telling yourself. Right?
Do you ever doubt yourself?
I'm still human. Right? I'm not there yet, because I think if I get there, Sash, I think I'm done here. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Someone like Wayne Dyer cured himself of cancer, helped millions of people get rich, then had a spiritual awaken, and helped millions of people change their lives. You know? And he got more happiness and helped more people get happy when he was helping them change their lives from inside and their thoughts versus getting rich.
He wasn't the only one. There was another one. There was a pastor. Did a fantastic job, and then I think he was a local pastor. He moved to LA and to become this sort of
guru sort of.
Like a.
It happens to a lot of people. And then when I believe Dr. Wayne Dyer cures himself of everything and then has a heart attack. Was it just his time? Had he fulfilled his contract? Read The Journey of Souls. Amazing book. They go through hypnotism and they take people through their midlife. So after you pass away, what goes on and how you decide, I'm going back. Amazing stuff. And this is what I need to learn. There's a movie out, the Disney movie called Souls. It's like spot on. So whoever wrote that movie has had a spiritual awakening and has seen. There's a lady called again, Dr. Wayne Dyer. I'll get you the name later, just for your knowledge. But she had a near-death experience, which many people have. And often they record the same thing, but people don't want to listen. We're all caught up in our own lives. And she sat there and looked down on the world. She had stage 5 cancer. Her body was disintegrating. People were flying to come say goodbye from other provinces. Up top, she had her little powwow with whatever that power would be. Power said, you're going back. You have a message to pass. She's like, hell no, I'm not going back. Why would I want to go back to this body dying? I'm done. No, you're going to go back and you're going to be healed. This is what she was told in her dream, in her conscious state, whatever, subconscious state. Yeah. And sure enough, her body started healing. Doctors had no idea why. And she told people why after. People didn't care. She's written a book that sold millions now. Well, I care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you know what her message was? Be yourself. We all try and be something we're not. Live your passions. Go for it. You fail, great. You learn, you grow. But don't stop. Your passion changes, fine. Go with that passion with all your heart. Who cares? I'm getting goosebumps.
Just quickly, we'll touch on what you told me in the elevator.
Yeah.
If you want something, don't look at it as if you need it in order to sort of go on to the next step. So I'll give an example, money. If you're worried about your financial situation, it's not going to help.
Yeah.
You can elaborate on that, sorry.
If you're worried about it and you're constantly trying to create it from that worry, okay, what am I going to do tonight work-wise? I tell you, I've created more money and more work from meditating, from writing down my intentions, than doing ads, creating a website, all this. I created courses and retreats without a website. Some people want to see it. I could take one view on that. I need to make a website so people can see it, or I could take the view that people that need to see me will find me and live there. And living there, same thing with money, living like you already have it, living like you're already abundant, living like you're a wealthy person. Emotionally, the way you act, the way you sit, the way you hold yourself when you're with people, the confidence, you attract it.
Joel Osteen mentions that.
Right?
Live abundant.
Dude, they're all right. And we read these books, but like what you touched on earlier, you don't do the work after, you don't do the practice, you don't invest in yourself and hire someone that knows what they're doing for a month or 2 or 3, and then, holy crap, my life just changed in 3 months? Yeah. Like I offer a 90-day program. The people that have taken that program have their own businesses now, or they're healing like I told you. I could basically take any healer through a program and they'll be successful.
Where can we find your work?
Most of my work is on my Instagram page. Okay. I think that's a great platform. 8 to 9 billion people go on that like daily. It's like ridiculous, So yeah, that's definitely my main platform. Russel Huggon, aka Huggy the Healer, right? These names, I don't give myself these names. It's people always call me something, and then it sticks, right? So.
And just quickly, Huggy's High Performance Soccer Academy. You haven't given that up. What's going on with that?
You know what? I am always drawn to soccer. There's a passion of me in soccer, and so what my good friend who helped me market it in the beginning said, let's just not shut the door. Call it Huggy High Performance. And so my overall company is called Huggy High Performance, live life like a pro, because I've done it. Right. So I can relate to people. This is how I became a professional soccer player, in a country where I had no business going to play soccer. A little Canadian, the size of me, making it in Scotland, no, I had no business. But I already had the tools. Now I see, I visualized, I dreamed about it. So what was I doing without knowing it? Attracting it. I was doing it from passion and love. And I just attracted it. And it kept coming. A new team. I get released from one team. Don't worry about it. I got a new one. New team signs you. And it's just like, it just kept happening. And then you get through your journey, and a rock bottom needed to happen for me to go on the next step of my journey, my evolution, which was coaching. And it happened a little earlier than maybe I would have dreamed about. Mm-hmm. But again, I had my heart broken. I was engaged. She broke it off. And I couldn't live there anymore. And I reacted. I was still mid-20s at the time.
This is Scotland?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that's when we were living together, and I just moved home. And then, followed Jesus' path, got into carpentry, and now I could basically self-taught again with my own belief. First time I got a fencing job, I had a car. I didn't even have a tool. I had a hammer. And I convinced the people through my passion for life and knowledge that I can do this. And when I got there, the guy's looking at me because I worked with a salesman on these fence jobs. And he's looking at me like, how are you going to build a fence? I'll go out and grab whatever tool I needed for that day. And I ended up in 3 years, had the most successful, I was like the number one sought after fence installer. Companies in West Van all over trying to hire me to build their fences because I just believed it. I didn't have training. I visualized it and went for it.
What's the difference between somebody who says that's God's work and you who say it's the energy?
Honestly, on the deepest of deepest level, I think they're the same. Because I've studied the Bible, and I've studied teachings on God that are more spiritual. I've studied the energy side of everything, the quantum physics side of everything. So basically, I've studied them all, right? And so if you believe in God, then, even Jesus even said it, God's within us. People might not like what I have to say about Jesus, but he's one of the most amazing energy healers the world's ever seen. He believed it, he had the intention, and it worked because they believed him. And he was always telling everyone, it's all within you. It's within us all. The kingdom is in us. But people will look at it whatever way they've been taught it. If you have been in a certain religion, then you're only going to believe the way you've been taught it as a kid. Because again, even fear. Read the Bible. Man, I started reading the Bible. The first few stories, I'm calling my friend who was introducing me, and I'm like, what is going on with this? There's people killing each other. There's brothers killing each other. There's daughters sleeping with their dad. Like, this is all happening in the first,
in the Old Testament.
I'm like, so what was created here is it's always been there. You have the choice. There's lower end, there's higher end, and it's all within us all. And we're creating it with our thoughts, We think we need to do this, we go do it. And, unfortunately, there's people that do harm. There's adults that do harm in this world. But had they done harm to them? 100%. 100%. And should there be a system in line to stop this earlier? Yeah, right here. It's here. I've approached school systems about this. I've approached soccer clubs about this. So it's coming. I'm growing. My voice is being heard. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And it needs to be heard. People have been telling me that for a long time, but I was hiding. This is so different. This is so weird. Because like we spoke about, I didn't grow up with this stuff. I didn't grow up going to church. I didn't grow up with spirituality. I grew up learning you got to bust your ass to get what you get. And that's all I did. Just worked and worked and worked. I'd go home from school and I'd run up hills. And people ask me, how can I become a professional soccer player? One of the first things I tell them to do, go find a hill. I'm serious. Find a hill, find a wall. You'll become a pro. Yeah.
Russell, thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to anybody listening in or watching today?
I think if they watch this through, they're going to get the depth and the passion of how I believe in this and how it's changed my life, changed my daughter's life. We did energy work on her when she was just a baby, and it could be one of the reasons why she's alive today when only 0.2% live, right? Yeah. So, just much love and light. I'm always sending love and light, and if people start doing that consciously, they're going to add to that vibration in the world, so it's a beautiful thing. Contact Huggy the Healer if you want to start changing your life, right?
And stay tuned to watch Huggy the Healer perform part of the Emotion Code on myself. Russell, man, it's a pleasure.
So much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You,
I just feel in a different vibe right now.
It's awesome.
This whole time.
It's awesome, man.
So
that's it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Much love.
Okay, we will see you in a week. Ciao.
Ain't got no place to come.